Where are my underwear, honey? When the whole network was broadcasting live, the top streamer came out from behind me. Naked asked me for underwear. The barrage went silent and I was stunned. The hot search exploded. 1. After finishing work, I rush home on time. I just got home, and I didn't have time to wash up. She walked to the dressing table and started the live broadcast. This live broadcast is a warm-up for my birthday party, and fans have been waiting in the live broadcast room early. While removing my makeup, I was interacting with fans on the barrage. Yes, I just got home from work. The new drama will be aired soon. Please support it. The messages on the barrage scrolled very quickly. Amidst all the comments of praise and compliments, I caught a glimpse of one that was different from the others. Why does it seem like there is someone in the room behind my sister? My face was calm, but I couldn't stop feeling guilty inside. Subconsciously, I glanced towards the bathroom behind me. Warm yellow light shone through the frosted glass door, and a faint dark shadow could be seen inside. I was shocked, but luckily the comment was quickly covered and not many people saw it. The reason why I feel so guilty is that I am not the only one in this house, and that person is most likely my secret marriage partner. Today's top male star, Pei Ying. 2. It is not an exaggeration to say that Pei Ying is the hottest male star at the moment. From an 80-year-old grandmother to an 8-year-old child, I can easily name 2 of his representative works. I am the exact opposite of him, a well-known vase in the entertainment industry. He is popular, but his ability is poor. From an 80-year-old grandmother to an 8-year-old child, you can always complain about me. In the early days of my marriage, the agents of both parties thought about announcing our relationship to help me restore my reputation. It was just that the news that Pei Ying and I would be interviewed together was announced. Pei Ying's and my Weibo, as well as that of both our studios, were instantly flooded with messages. But most of his posts are complaints from his female fans. And under my Weibo posts, there are all kinds of abusive and sarcastic messages. Big sis, can you please change someone to hype up our relationship? I'll die if I don't. Let me do it. I have high emotional intelligence. Go away, don't get involved. No one else will say that this elder sister may be a vase, but she has a pretty face. Messages like these came pouring towards me like endless snowflakes. I had no choice but to give up the interview. I can only hope that one day my reputation improves, and then I can announce my relationship. 3. Thinking of this, I calmly blocked the way behind me, but his right hand reached out of the screen. He grabbed his phone and sent a message to Pei Ying. Are you home? Is that you in the bathroom? It took a while for the other side to reply. Pei Ying, it's me, wife. Me. Don't come out or move around, do you hear me? Pei Ying. Is it the top that cannot move, or the bottom that cannot move? I ignored Pei Ying's fussing and just told him to stay in the bathroom. After a long while, I unlocked my phone screen again, but still didn't see his reply. The naughty husband is quiet. He must be doing something naughty. I suddenly felt uneasy, until there was a clang, and the bathroom door behind me opened. Pei Ying said with a smile, "Where are my underwear, honey?" I was completely petrified on the spot, and looked back stiffly. Pei Ying was shirtless with only a bath towel around his waist. The wet hair kept dripping down and hitting the collarbone, then moved down across the thin and well-shaped abdominal muscles and lower abdomen. Finally hid in the bath towel. I suddenly felt my throat a little dry and swallowed subconsciously. The barrage also fell silent for a moment. Then it began to roll wildly at a speed visible to the naked eye. The trending search was going viral all night long. 4. There were too many people pouring into the live broadcast room, so it crashed. After being forced to go offline, calls from the 2 agents came soon. He said he would wait for them to come over, and then discuss countermeasures together. On the other end of the phone, the agent told me meaningfully, "Don't pay too much attention to the internet. If you can't help it, just give your phone to Pei Ying." I could have held back if she hadn't said it, but once she said it, I became even more curious and wanted to go and see it. After hanging up the phone, I quickly logged into the Trumpet. I opened Weibo, and it took 5 minutes before I saw the trending searches. Hashtag Shinci Pei Ying hashtag. Hashtag Shinci and Pei Ying are secretly married hashtag. A series of terms such as and so on occupied half of the hot search list. The most eye-catching one is the most searched term. Hashtag paying underwear hashtag. It was ranked first in the hot searches and remained at the top. This is enough to prove how interested the crowd is. Just as I was about to click in to take a closer look, Paying behind me pulled me into his arms. He snatched the phone from my hand and lowered his head to my neck. Rub wet hair back and forth. Honey, don't be angry. I really didn't mean it. I snorted coldly. I think you did it on purpose. I told you not to come out. How nice of you to ask me to find it for you. Before he could finish his words, the doorbell rang. Just as I was about to get up and open the door, I heard Paying shouting, "Underwear! Wife!" I got furious instantly, turned around and walked towards the closet, throwing my underwear at him one by one. While throwing them, he said, "Pants, underwear, put them on." After saying that, she stood up and opened the door, ignoring his shouting behind her. Honey, my panties are on my head. 5. As soon as Pei Ying's agent walked in, he slapped him in disappointment. "You come out naked, look how exposed you are." My agent, Sister Yang, didn't say anything, but anyone with a discerning eye could see that she was in a bad mood. Pei Ying knew he was in the wrong and didn't dare to say anything. "I am in a good mood." Without further ado, the two agents set about solving the problem. "I wanted you to promote your CP at first, but the response was too bad. So why not take this opportunity to make it public now?" Pei Ying's agent handed over a notebook as he spoke. "This variety show wants you to be a guest for one episode. It will not only bring popularity to the program team, but also give your fans a buffer period." Sister Yang also said, "I watched this variety show, it's really good. Also, I will move your birthday party forward to tomorrow and arrange an interview session. At the fan meeting, tell us about your two going to be on a variety show together." Pei Ying raised his hands and quickly replied, "I think it's okay." His agent, "I think that's fine." Sister Yang, "I think that's fine." 6. Pei Ying rushed back to the crew to film the next day. When I arrived at the press conference venue, many reporters had already gathered outside the door. "It looks like there are more people than originally planned." Sister Yang pointed out the window. "Look, as soon as the news was released yesterday, all those big entertainment reporters who used to look down on us rushed to call us." After saying that, he smiled and shook his head. I didn't respond. I just asked the driver to drive in quickly. At the press conference, reporters pointed their cameras at the podium. Pei Ying has joined the crew and cannot be contacted for the time being. Reporters all tried to get first-hand information from me. Everyone was so excited that they couldn't hide their excitement. The fans all tacitly avoided mentioning that incident and just celebrated for me wholeheartedly. I felt a sudden sense of guilt. When it was time for free questions, the reporters who had been waiting for a long time swarmed in front of the room. "There's a lot of talk about you and Teacher Pei on the internet right now. What do you think about this? Miss Shin Si, please answer directly about your relationship with Teacher Pei Ying. Are you and Bei Young really married? Did you hide this from your fans on purpose?" The reporters were becoming more and more excited. I was even squeezed so hard that I staggered back a step, and the staff quickly stepped forward to stop it. I couldn't help but let out a ha-ha in my mind. But there was still an understanding smile on his face. "I am very grateful for your concern, and I understand your urgent feelings. As for the relationship between Pei Ying and I, we will participate in a variety show together next time, and everyone will know then." 7. That evening, the program team released the promotional news. "Because of UV, welcome at Shinsu Tru at Pei Ying to be our next guest stars. Stay tuned." After I forwarded the Weibo post, I started to read the comments. Most of the comments in the front row are controlled by our two fans. Uniformity and consistent format are quite shocking. The general idea is don't believe in rumors or spread them, and just follow your own business. I scrolled down for a long time before I saw the comments of passersby. "Ha ha ha, this is so funny. It turns out that they are participating in this variety show. Isn't this a confirmed fact?" Sister above, please go to the previous comments and see that the fans of the two groups are still controlling the comments. Some passersby are confused and are asking for scientific advice. There are two simple reasons why the show, Because of You, is well known to the public. First, the production team is excellent, and the program content is innovative. The second is, too many real couples and spouses were born here. Before people in the circle want to make the relationship public, they all want to hype up the CP first. Make it easier for fans to accept it. And by the way, see the fans' attitudes and do public relations in advance. A passerby did some digging and found that there were as many as 10 couples in the entertainment industry who were together before participating in Because of You. So the program team officially announced that Pei Ying and I would join. It has already piqued the audience's curiosity. The entire network is waiting for the show to be broadcast. 8. Pei Ying is filming on the set. I took the opportunity to visit the set. It also allows the paparazzi to take some photos, so that the marketing accounts can send out announcements. I arrived at the set very late at night, and in order to ensure that I could be photographed, I slowed down and dawdled for a while. When I arrived, Pei Ying was acting opposite the leading actress. There was little light in the deep mountains, so the production crew turned on several headlights for illumination. The heroine Tang Qing tilted her head and squinted at the light. He stood up and walked towards the shadow where Pei Ying was. Pei Ying frowned and gestured. He took 2 steps back and said, "Stop, stop. You have crossed my line." Tang Qing was stunned. "What line?" Pei Ying crossed his arms and explained to her with a smug look on his face. "When not filming, keep a certain distance from other women. I call this distance the good man range." Tang Qing was speechless. "You drew it for yourself?" Pei Ying nodded affirmatively. "Yes." I clearly saw Tang Qing give him a blank look, and I couldn't help laughing. Hearing the sound, Tang Qing saw me first. Jogging towards me. "Sister Shinsi, look at him. You don't even care about him. You have no manners at all." Before I could speak, Tang Qing hugged my arm, leaned on me and complained to me. "Besides, sister, if he dares to draw a line for himself today, he will dare to draw a line for you tomorrow. Unlike me, I only feel sorry for my sister. People in the circle know a little about our relationship, not to mention Tang Qing." I rubbed her hair with amusement and said, "I know. I brought you a gift. I'll ask my assistant to give it to you later." "Thank you, sister," Tang Qing said, and pretended to come up and kiss me. Pei Ying took a step forward and quickly pulled her away. In a bad tone, "What are you doing? This is my wife." Tang Qing held me tightly and raised an eyebrow at him. "So what? You didn't even know where you were when my sister and I were kissing." 9. Tang Qing and I were originally artists under Sister Yang, and we entered the circle together. In order to save money, we rented a house together for several years. She is a few years younger than me, and is more like my sister. Hearing this, Pei Ying also drooped his brows. But he still didn't give up, and took Tang Qing away. Director Jiang couldn't find the male and female protagonists, so he rushed over after hearing the noise. I was wondering where all my protagonists were, and they're all here. She turned around and smiled at me again. "Shunsi, are you here to visit Pei Ying's class?" I nodded. Tang Qing whispered back, "TSK, maybe he came to see me." Suddenly, he seemed to remember something and said to the director, "Director, didn't you say that your new drama is still short of a second female lead?" Tang Qing pushed me forward. "What do you think of Sister Shinsi?" Seeing that the director didn't say anything, Tang Qing added, "Look at how well it meets your requirements. Beautiful, no brains, and can sit there for half a day. She's exactly like the foolish princess in your play." I held my forehead with my hand. If it weren't for her sincere face, I really wouldn't have been able to tell that she was praising me. The director looked at me and sized me up. He agreed. "Okay, once the lead actors are confirmed, I'll let you know to discuss the plot together." I hurriedly thanked him and asked my assistant to distribute the midnight snacks. There aren't so many rules in the mountains, and midnight snacks are all ordered and brought up from the foot of the mountain. After dinner, the director led the crew to continue working. Before leaving, Pei Ying picked up the coat beside him and put it on me. "It's cold in the mountains at night, wear more clothes. I'll let Xiao Su take you around later. If you don't want to leave, let Xiao Su take you to my room." Xiao Su is his assistant. I said I understood and nudged him. "Got it, go ahead." The director is waiting for you. Pei Ying stood up and walked halfway, before turning back with an ambiguous smile on his face. He leaned over and whispered, "Knowing you were coming, I prepared a gift for you." There was a cunning look in Pei Ying's eyes. Suddenly I had a feeling that something was going to go wrong. I was thinking about something, so after walking for a while, I let Xiao Su take me to my room. Xiao Su handed me the room card. I swiped it and opened the door. The curtains in the room were drawn, making it a little dark, and the scent of Pei Ying's usual perfume still lingered in the air. The moment he walked straight to the bed and opened the box on the bed, I suspect I saw it wrong. He gently picked up a thin ribbon with 2 fingers. The pitiful amount of cloth trembled in the air. "This is the silk pajamas." 10. After taking a shower, I looked at the pajamas on the shelf. After some ideological struggle, I finally put it on despite the shame. Look at yourself in the mirror. Wow, this is really interesting. It was not until the second half of the night that I heard the door open. I was sleeping soundly and called him indistinctly. Pei Ying seemed to have not expected that I was still awake and paused. She said softly. Pei Ying was taking a shower, and my thoughts were inevitably drawn to her. Thinking of the pajamas I was wearing, my face turned red. "Why are you covering your head? Aren't you afraid of suffocating?" The quilt above my head was lifted and fresh, cool air poured in. I subconsciously took 2 more breaths, and there seemed to be moist vapor lingering around the tip of my nose. When I opened my eyes, I noticed that Pei Ying was only wearing a bathrobe. Under the slightly open bath towel, there are strong and thin abdominal muscles. There was a small bright yellow lamp on at the head of the bed. Pei Ying's eyes looked dark, with a lust that I couldn't understand. Only then did I notice that my collar, which had originally fit me well, had opened up without me noticing. I reached out to turn off the light, but Pei Ying took the initiative and restrained his hands, pressing them against the head of the bed. His side sank, and Pei Ying rolled over onto the bed. He kissed my earlobe and said something in my ear that sounded like an angry laugh or a puzzled voice. "Elder sister?" The rising tone of his voice made my ears tingle. I don't understand, because Pei Ying is 5 years older than me. When we first got together, he always coaxed me to call him brother. See me distracted. Pei Ying bit my ear as a punishment. I came back to my senses with the pain. "Tell me, where did she kiss you?" Only then did I remember what Tang Qing said that evening. She pinched him with a smile and said, "Where else can I kiss? I just kissed your face." That night, I was forced to listen to sister countless times. The next morning, I looked in the mirror at the red spots on my face. I am speechless. 11. On the way to the recording location of Because of You, I wore a mask all the way. "Cover it tightly." Xiao Su handed over a cup of hot water. "Sister, drink more water, it's good for your cold." I don't know how this child managed to stay with Pei Ying. When we arrived at the shooting location, most people had already arrived. Among the 7 guests, we and another couple were the only duo. The remaining 3 are all single teams. They are all people I know. After a brief self-introduction, the program team read out the new tasks for today. Within a certain period of time, the person whose heart rate goes off the charts first will be required to publish screenshots of their chats with their most recent contacts. As soon as he finished speaking, there was a wail from the crowd. "Director, you're going to make it this big for the first mission." Another reason why, Because of You, is so popular is that the content is very real. The guests will not be overpackaged, so the guests who come to the show are well prepared. Then I thought about it, and realized that the last person I chatted with was Tang Qing. He stood up with a swish. "No, you can cut your head and bleed, but you can't read your best friend's chat history." The staff gave us each an electronic watch to monitor our heartbeats. Pei Ying folded his arms and looked at me leisurely. "It seems like I am bound to lose." After mustering up my courage, I stood on tiptoe and covered his ears with my hands. "Look up at him." Pei Yingsheng looked at me with a smile in his starry eyes, sparkling. He also covered my ears with his backhand. I paused, but still went forward and kissed him. There was silence in my ears, and the only thing I could hear was the sound of lips and teeth kissing each other, and his heavy breathing. Pei Ying's pupils dilated slightly, as if she didn't expect me to be so bold. Dare to kiss him directly in front of so many people. Drip, drip. The sound of an electronic instrument sounded, reminding him that his heart was beating too fast. Very good. The person with the fastest heartbeat became Pei Ying. The staff member looked at Pei Ying with an anti-smile. Teacher Pei, come on. Pei Ying took off her watch strap shyly and annoyed, then took out her cell phone. From my perspective, his entire ears were red. The person Pei Ying chatted with most recently was me. But what I don't understand is that the note he gave me was blue. When the staff opened the chat interface, they saw some daily conversations. When he was about to flip up, Pei Ying stopped him. The tone is deliberately calm. The above content is not suitable for broadcast, so don't watch it. I'm afraid you won't be able to bear it. I was silent again. 12. Wait until each group of guests has completed their tasks. The program team also announced the second task. Find a place to stay tonight, first come first served. Guests can form their own teams. Another pair of guests has already set off. Pei Ying and I were about to leave when we were stopped. Sister Shinsi, can I team up with you? The person who was speaking was Lin Yi, a popular star who has become quite popular recently. We have recorded a show together before. He is handsome and sweet-spoken, and we get along well. I stood there somewhat awkwardly. Anyone with a discerning eye could see what was going on between Pei Ying and me. Why is this kid always looking for trouble? I was thinking about how to reject him when Pei Ying pulled me into his arms with a dark face. He put his arm around my shoulders and said in a slightly cold tone, "Sorry, she's already teamed up with me. What this means is that you should go wherever it is cooler." After saying that, she didn't plan to pay any more attention to him. Her oppressive eyes didn't even look at him. She just held me and walked forward. Lin Yi is very popular now, and he has never been ignored like this before. He is stubborn by nature. She walked quickly to me and said, "Sister Shinsi hasn't spoken yet, so why are you deciding for her?" I felt my arms exerting a slight force. I looked up and met his eyes, and instantly knew what he was going to do. He simply let go of my shoulders and took my hand openly, facing the crowd with a bright voice. "First of all, I fully respect her choice. She is an independent individual, and no one can make decisions for her. Secondly, I don't need to report to you about our relationship, right?" After saying that, he turned his head to look at me, with a slight smile on the corner of his mouth. With a smile on her face, she said, "What do you think, Mrs. Pei?" 13. On the day the show was broadcast, Weibo went downhill. The programmer worked overtime to repair it. Pei Ying's words proved the fact that we were married. The studio took the opportunity to send out the public relations document that had been prepared long ago. Pei Ying and I also cooperated in posting on Weibo. I originally thought that the comment section would be full of pessimistic views, but I didn't expect that this time. Contrary to my usual behavior, I clicked on several trending searches in a row. As a result, the front row was occupied by the speeches of passers-by. "Are you still not satisfied with this sister-in-law? Someone's sister-in-law is so beautiful, but my sister-in-law. I understand your silence upstairs." Even Pei Ying's fans came over. "Sister-in-law is so beautiful. We will be very proud if we tell others about it. Thank you, sister, for being so kind and saving this single young man. Sister, I can join you too. Let the three of us live happily together, QAQ." Seeing that the momentum was good, the agent quickly arranged for Pei Ying and I to participate in the interview together. In addition to the interview, we also have to shoot the cover of the magazine. Pei Ying had a neat short hair that was held back with hair gel. Without the bangs covering his face, he looked even more stern and serious. She was wearing a black deep V suit, which attracted the attention of the staff present. The photographer instructed the shoot. The two teachers should get closer, more intimate. I wore a royal blue high-slit halter dress today. It's easy to expose yourself. After hearing what the photographer said, Pei Ying suddenly hugged me from behind. One hand was around my waist, slightly pressing down the hem of my skirt. His chin rested on my shoulder, and he tilted his head to talk to me with a smile. "My wife is so beautiful. I want to kiss her." I elbowed him in the back. I tilted my head to look at him again, and he happened to be looking down. Our eyes met, and for that second, my heart seemed to skip a beat. The sound of shutter clicks kept ringing in my ears. Great, this is the feeling. After the shooting, the staff watched the results on the screen. Pei-ing hugged me and hid in a secluded corner. My back was pressed against his chest. In the quiet space, the noisy voices and conversations in the distance became blurred. The touch on my waist was infinitely magnified, and Pei-ing held me in his arms, swaying gently as I moved forward, like a kind of open intimacy. When the staff passing by saw us, they all lowered their heads and covered their mouths with their hands and laughed. I pushed him away in embarrassment. Don't hug me, there are so many people watching. Pei-ing didn't let go and whispered, Look what's wrong. I'm your legally brought home husband. Don't even think about hugging me. I can do other things too. I quickly covered my mouth and interrupted him. A warning whispered, Have some shame, Pei-ing. He blinked and nodded. I let him go. TSK, we just got married quietly, and we didn't have a wedding. In other people's eyes, we might just be a contract couple. Pei-ing suddenly stood up and squeezed my fingers. Seriously said, Don't worry, I will definitely let everyone know. You are the embodiment of my love. I was frightened by his sudden seriousness and stammered, not knowing what to say. Fortunately, the host came and said that the interview could begin. It made me calm down. 14. The interview begins. Pei-ing and I sat together, his hand casually resting on the backrest behind me. The host picked up the cue card and started asking questions. Welcome both of you. Our audience friends are very curious about your relationship experiences. Would you mind telling us a little bit? Pei-ing seemed to remember something and couldn't help laughing. He slowly said, Of course. As he spoke, I also recalled the first time I met Pei-ing. I had just entered the circle at that time, and Pei-ing was just an unknown newcomer. We go from one crew to another every day to see if they are short of people. The first time I met Pei-ing was on the crew of a low-budget online drama. How small is it? The entire crew, including the leading actors, consists of less than 10 people. So when we met for the first time, the director took us to the university town to eat barbecue. There was a traffic jam when I went there, so I walked the last section. When I arrived, the director warmly asked me to sit down. When I saw Pei-ing sitting next to me, my eyes lit up. White shirt, jeans, sneakers. It fits all my fantasies about male college students. So when Pei-ing handed me a starch sausage and asked me if I wanted to eat it, I didn't refuse. He ate 8 starch sausages in one breath. Pei-ing was so busy that she didn't even have time to grill and just focused on frying starch sausages. I once asked Pei-ing why she pursued me. He said, This is the first time I've met someone who can eat 8 starch sausages at once. I think you're very interesting. There was silence at the scene, and then someone laughed. The set became noisy. The host couldn't help but laugh. So Shin-si, did you really eat 8 starch sausages? I admitted it, covering my face. With this selling point, the subsequent questions are not too harsh. Most of the questions were about the new drama, and whether Pei-ing was confident of winning this year's Best Actor award. Just follow the script, and it's over. 15. Pei-ing had to rush back to the crew to continue filming, walking in a hurry. In the evening, Pei-ing called me on video. On the other side of the video, Pei-ing was wearing an ordinary white t-shirt, with her hair undone, and lying on the bed. The first thing he did was to report his itinerary to me. I filmed all day today, and went out to eat with the crew tonight. Suddenly he stood up abruptly. Honey, let me tell you, there was an actress who kept approaching me at night, but I immediately dodged her. He stroked his chin. Do you think she has feelings for me? At that time, I was concentrating on watching the new drama of actor Zhou. No reply to him. Pei-ing got no response and shouted anxiously, Honey, I'm here, look at me. I casually replied, Oh, don't be so narcissistic, there aren't that many people who like you. He uttered, Oh, and his voice died down. I also wanted to tell you that there is a man who is also weird. I put the fruit plate down suddenly, making a splitting sound. Stay away from him. Okay, honey. After chatting for a while, I mentioned that director Jiang asked me to act. I heard that the male and female protagonists have been chosen, so director Jiang asked us all to meet. Pei-ing nodded and said with some regret, It's a pity that we only worked together on that one web drama. I remembered that I was not originally the heroine of that drama. But the director's girlfriend? The director is a recent college graduate who wants to fulfill his girlfriend's wish to make a movie. I even specially found a handsome guy to act with her. But on the first day of filming, the girl looked at me for a long time. Finally, he stuffed the heroine's costume and script into my hands. She ran away crying. Wow, she looks more like the heroine than I do. Later, when Pei Ying and I were filming, I would often see her squatting aside. Hey, that's sweet. It's delicious. 16. The day I went to meet the director, I got up very early. I want to leave a good impression on the director. When the director saw me, the corners of his mouth couldn't help but rise. She greeted me to sit down in a cheerful tone. Shin Si, you came so early, come on, take a seat first. As soon as I sat down, I saw the director waving outside. Zhou Yang Su Shu here. I was stunned. These two names were not unfamiliar to me. But didn't people on the internet say that they would never have any contact with each other again? But I didn't ask any more questions. Director Jiang briefly introduced the staff. He laughed and teased me. Zhou Yang, you are familiar with him, right? He is the biggest competitor of your best actor. Zhou Yang and Pei Ying are of similar age and debuted at about the same time. Even the awards they won were pretty much the same. So fans of both groups are eyeing the Best Actor award at the end of the year. Whoever wins this award will be the youngest Grand Slam actor in film history. At this critical moment, I smiled and said nothing. Director Jiang originally arranged for the two leading actors to sit together. Su Shu turned around and sat down next to me. I'll just sit with Sister Shin Si. The director gave Zhou Yang a sly look, and the latter smiled helplessly and shook his head. Okay, let's read the script then. It was not until the evening when Su Shu had to leave early to attend an event that Director Jiang let us go. When I went downstairs, I found that it had started raining heavily outside. I slipped in my high heels and fell backwards. A pair of warm and dry hands quickly supported me. Once I stood firm, he quickly let go. How are you? Are you okay? It's Zhou Yang. I thanked him quickly. It's okay, I just slipped. Zhou Yang saw that my driver had not arrived yet and offered to take me home. As I watched the rain getting heavier, I thought of the staff I was with. I didn't hesitate. Thank you for your help. Zhou Yang smiled and came forward to open the car door for me. 17. Return home. I quickly took off my wet clothes and took a hot shower. When I received the call from Sister Yang, I was about to video call Pei Ying. She seemed extremely anxious on the other end of the phone and was relieved when she heard that I was at home. Then he continued, don't go online yet. You and Zhou Yang were photographed together, and now there's a lot of noise online saying that you cheated on me. I have already contacted Zhou Yang's agent and will issue a statement later. She paused and added, also, Pei Ying seems to have known about it. You should talk to him about it. After hanging up the phone, I tried to video call Pei Ying several times. No one answered. I contacted Xiao Su, but he said he didn't know where he was. Watching the rain outside gradually getting lighter, I picked up the umbrella beside me and went to find him. 18. I found him in a college town. Pei Ying was squatting on the side of the road, wearing a black baseball cap that covered his face. There was a stain of mud on his knees. There was an air of sadness all over his body. It is easy to find because it is out of place among the cheerful college students around it. Occasionally someone passes by and stops to take a photo. In order to avoid being discovered by more people, I quickly stepped forward and pulled him away. Pei Ying was squatting there quietly and didn't expect me to appear at all. The emotions that were almost digested surged up again. A pair of watery eyes looked at me. He pursed his lips and started crying. I wiped his tears, feeling both angry and amused. Why are you crying? Zhou Yang is just being kind and sending me home. There are many other people in the car. Also, why didn't you answer my video? Pei Ying took a breath and said unconvincedly, I'm not crying, I'm just angry. The sound is getting smaller and smaller. Seeing that I didn't reply to him, he just gave up. Ivech. I was angry and walked too fast, and my phone fell into the puddle. I'm just angry. I get jealous of women and men too. After saying that, he kissed me roughly on the lips. While kissing, he said vaguely, I don't care, I want to give myself a name. That night, A highly praised post appeared in Paying and ICP Super Topic. The post reads, "The couple has a good relationship, don't worry about them." And attached is a video. The person who filmed the video wasn't too far away. Occasionally, I can record 1 or 2 clear sentences. The clearest part is Pei Ying's request for a status. Many people made jokes in the comments. "Blogger, are you trying to save your life? How dare you post something so sweet?" Pei Ying, I am the official match. Looking at the environment, it seems to be the university town where they talked about their first meeting. "Brother Pei, you are so serious. I am crying my ass off." 19. The next time I was on the same stage with Pei Ying was at the end-of-year awards ceremony. As the favorite candidate for Best Actor that night, Pei Ying attracted much attention. When the Best Actor award was announced, the whole audience held their breath. Several candidates were captured on camera and projected onto a large screen. The production team was particularly clever in putting Pei Ying and Zhou Yang together. The award presenter kept everyone in suspense. Wait until everyone is extremely nervous before shouting it out loud. "Bei Young," another guest chimed in. "Let's congratulate Pei Ying for winning the Best Actor award." Pei Ying stood up and walked slowly towards the podium. A dazzling spotlight follows him, illuminating his way forward. After thanking the crew, staff, and fans, Pei Ying changed the subject. "In addition, I would like to thank the most special person in my life. My wife Shenxi. I don't know when the big screen was projected to where I am. I stared in a daze as Pei Ying walked off the stage and walked towards me step by step. The camera moved along until the two of us appeared on the big screen. Watching Pei Ying slowly kneel down, my heart began beating rapidly and uncontrollably. Pei Ying took out the diamond ring that he had prepared long ago from the pocket of his well-tailored suit. He looked up at me, his eyes full of hope. He looked nervous and spoke with a trembling voice. "You once asked me what blue meant. I want to say blue means because love you every day. Shenxi, let's be together every day from now on. I want to be with you forever." All eyes were on me. There were all kinds of cheers in my ears. The organizer handed over the microphone at the right time. Looking at the shining diamond ring, I spoke slowly. "This diamond ring, how many carats?" Pei Ying was stunned for a moment, then replied subconsciously, 10 carats. Actually, Pei Ying and I have a pair of wedding rings. But I bought it when I just got married. It's a very simple style. At that time I joked, "You must buy me a big diamond ring in the future. Otherwise I might fly away." I pursed my lips, trying hard not to let the tears fall. She stretched out her hand to him. "Put it on me now." That day, under everyone's gaze, we had a long kiss. End of full text. Extra. I won a prize in order to play the role of the silly princess well. At the same time, in order to prove myself, I hired 3 acting teachers to teach me in turn. Practice your expression in front of the mirror every day. Practice your lines over and over again. I even asked Pei Ying to take a picture of me practicing. Review repeatedly. Pei Ying also supports my work. He accompanied me in rehearsing and going over lines tirelessly. On the day she won the award, Pei Ying seemed even happier than I was. Returned home in the evening. Pei Ying moved the trophy to the most conspicuous position on the shelf in the study. My trophy was placed among a bunch of Best Actor trophies. Pei Ying took a picture and posted it on Weibo. Every fan is a master of cutouts, finding sweetness in the details. Ha ha ha. Brother Pei put my trophy in the middle, and his own trophy was almost pushed to the side. The people upstairs haven't looked carefully enough. The first trophy Pei won after his debut is still on the ground. It hasn't been put up yet. The candy picker is here. Everyone get out of the way. Look at the reflection in the upper left corner of the glass. The two of them are. Hee hee. Frog fun, it has to be you. Kissing. I kicked the person off me in frustration. It's all your fault. I seriously suspect you did it on purpose. Pei Ying smiled playfully. Wife, the night is long. Save your energy.